You gonna tell him?
You're gonna tell him.
Of course, I'm gonna tell him.
Yeah, tell him. I mean, he's your boss.
He's gonna be here in a minute. We have nothing.
Well, we do have the data. He's not gonna like it, but we have something.
Oh, Daryl, can I get a selfie? It's
All right.
It's Daryl Lee from the Daryl Lee Show.
All right, thank you, Noreen, thank you.
Oh, and Lady Go-Go called.
You mean Lady Gaga?
Nope, Lady Go-Go.
Hodjot's pug. All right, thank you. That's enough, Noreen. That's enough. All right, team. I want to talk a little bit about the Daryl Lee Show in Cannes this year. Last year it was a bit of a mixed bag, and people said it wasn't up to our usual standards. I'm just saying what some people said. But this year, I wanted to be the best Daryl Lee Show ever. I thought what we could do is look at what people have really loved about the Daryl Lee Show and just do that again.
I've pulled together a file. Some of the most watched and well-liked clips from the Daryl Lee Show over the
look
past
at that.
year.
And we can watch them actually now.
Let's see them. First question for you, Javi.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretending that I'm cooking. No, I'm
Don't
fine,
cut
I'm fine,
yourself.
I'm fine. But I actually cut myself, this is funny. This French touch thing is something that you can eventually acquire even if you are not born here, or...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, that works.
What are we
for me.
pitching?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Hey, how you doing? Good.
Javi?
Yeah? A lot of Javi.
What are you waiting for, Javi?
Did you copyright this?
No, Nico asked me the same thing. Did you copyright this? I said, no, I've just
Don't
given it away.
Don't give it away for free.
I have already at the
Too much generosity for my taste.
Those were the most popular segments of the Daryl Lee Show. Let's think bigger. Let's have some big ideas here, people. Why don't we do something radical? Why don't I do TikToks on the Croisette about what's hot in Cannes this year?
I love that idea, but Harjo's doing it.
I could be in a titanium jury and then do a behind the scenes in the jury. What's the gossip? What's the inside scoop?
You could, but Javi is doing that. And by the way, to be in the jury, you need to be invited, even if you're the star of the Daryl Lee Show.
All right, well, I think we need to think about something bigger. Wait! Truth. Why don't we do a show about the truth about creativity and how we work with the best brands in the world to tell that truth well? You could call it the Daryl Lee Show about truth, or the truth about the Daryl Lee Show.
The Truth Well Told Show?
The Daryl Lee Show and truth.
Or the Javi and Daryl Show?
Wait! I have the perfect name. The Truth Well Told Show.
Well, I think that we all just said that.
Wait! The Truth Well Told Show, brought to you by Daryl Lee. That's it.
And Javi Campopiano.
And Javi.
The Truth Well Told Show, brought to you by Daryl Lee and Javi.
Well,
All right. I think we've cracked it. Well, I mean, I cracked the big idea. I'll leave it to you two to come up with the details. Just remember, there are a lot of people who love the Daryl Lee Show, so let's not disappoint them. Can we agree to that? Good. I gotta run. But let's have the best Daryl Lee Show ever.
The Truth Well Told Show.
yeah, the Truth Well Told Show.
The Truth Well Told Show. Hello from Cannes, and welcome to the Truth Well Told Show. Yes, you heard that right. We've rebranded the wildly successful Daryl Lee Show into the Truth Well Told Show. But let's be clear, the only thing that's changed is the name. And also now it's impossible for Javi to hijack the show again, because he loves truth and really respects it. We're here to do the same thing we've always done, which is celebrate truth, well-told creativity, and the collective impact that defines McCann and McCann Worldgroup around the world. And what better place to do that than Cannes? We're coming to you live from the Truth Well Told Lounge in Cannes, surrounded by the boldest, most creative minds in the business and the unmistakable energy of creativity in the air, along with some humidity. And also surrounded, it has to be said, by some obnoxious tech brothers, or bros, I think is the thing I should have said. Tech bros, trying to sell us the myth that artificial intelligence is going to take away all of our jobs. It's not happening. AI is just a tool for creativity, and a good one. All right, speaking of creativity, this week our creativity didn't just show up, it showed off. Cue hilarious laughter from the audience. It showed off. And it put, along with McCann, we put big brands on the big stage in Cannes in a big way. With MasterCard, Samsung, McDonald's, Xbox, Puck, Allegra, all winning lions. And this year, in a big, big way, L'Oréal Paris, winning 5 lions in Cannes 2025. Later in the show, we'll sit down with Javi and talk, take a little side tour back behind the scenes into the jury room, talking about the titanium jury, but also talking about all the wins that we've had, bringing together the radical humanity of truth with the radical creativity of storytelling and how truth well told moves people and markets. I think your mic is on. Give it a test. Hello, Javi. There we go.
Yes.
Well, social content, fun content, TikToks, viral, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other end of the creativity spectrum, they're the things that we reward as era-defining or at least moment-defining ideas, something that we recognize as having captured something excellent and unexpected in the world for a brand and from a creative perspective. We call them titaniums. It's a weird name. Why you've been on the jury, titanium jury. You just came. You look as exhausted as you should be after looking at the best work in the world.
I hope I look exhausted.
You
know,
do.
it's my
You have that.
character.
You have this exhausted but amazed look in your eyes.
Yeah.
Why is it called titanium, and what is a titanium?
It was called titanium because they were judging a film, I think, with Dan Wyden being the president of the jury. And there were these pieces from BMW. This was 10 or 15 years ago, I remember. That was this long form that they haven't seen in any other category, and they needed to come up with a way to judge it alongside all the other content that was at that time 30-second ads or 1-minute ads. So Dan Wyden came actually with the notion of titanium. And from that point on, it evolved into a category that is defined as the one where you award work that is moving the industry forward, and a lot of words that sometimes can be tricky because it becomes subjective. I call it X factor in a way. But at the last day of the jury, we came up with this notion of the first piece of the domino. So these ideas need to feel like the first piece of the domino, the one that creates an effect that is going to change how a category or an industry think on their work and their products. And I think that the ideas that we awarded, actually almost all of them, in my opinion, fit into that description, which is a nice description. You know, I was looking for something I could bring back from the judging, because you always want to come back to your clients and to your people and tell them this is what we should be doing, or you want your clients to say, I want more of that. And I think that this category is actually achieving that. You know, I'm happy with the reel we put together.
And well, that's interesting because sometimes I think titaniums get a reputation for being one-off, you know, a surprising show, but you're not going to see that show again. But you had a jury that understood that it's about the start of a new way of thinking or a new way of creating.
Yeah.
We believe in truth well told.
Yes.
So we think that platforms are the best way to do that. Did you see truth at the heart of?
Well, if you think, I'm going to name the cases, right?
Yes.
Because the ceremony is tonight, so there is no more embargo, in a way. Or is it?
There is an embargo,
Okay,
so be confidential.
I'm going to talk about the shortlist then.
Yes.
The shortlist is public.
Yes.
There's one piece from France, AXA, that actually, if you think about the category is insurance, and the truth of the category is that insurance is one of the most hated categories by, regular people in the world.
Right.
And
tax
the
on your life.
contracts are the representation of all what people hate about the category, because it's where they get you in a way. And in that very same medium, they found a way to make the category actually a force for good, because they included 3 words in the insurance contract that actually make the domestic violence covered by the insurance for the victim of domestic violence to be able to leave the house, which is the most critical point in that situation. So I think that is really rooted in the truth of the category and then the root of the brand. There is another really beautiful piece for Pedigree.
Pedigree,
Pet food, where they were rooting for a breed of street dog in Brazil called Caramelo to become an actual breed, an official breed. So they are questioning their own truth as a brand, because the name Pedigree, refers to a certain breed of dog that is upscale or premium, if you want.
Yes.
A premium dog.
Yes.
And they are kind of questioning their own truth as a brand, and reversing that and making it about all dogs in a way.
Right.
So yeah, I think that these ideas are representing truth of brand truth and human truth or dog truth.
Or dog truth.
if you want.
I mean, there's something deep in the pedigree thought, right? Which is pedigree is not about other people's judgment of my pedigree, but pedigree is the feeling I get about my own identity.
Yes.
So those dogs are really teaching us.
Yes.
It's kind of like Because I'm Worth It, but for dogs.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Actually, that someone said something quite similar to that.
Very wise person on your jury.
Yeah. And I think that if you look at ideas through the lenses of truth, most of them actually comply with that. With having a deep truth that is enduring and it's also responding to the history and the legacy of that brand. And both big brands.
Yes.
And
I mean, the AXA one is so simple. We love it because it's just adding 3 words.
Yes.
And I agree, the truth that it reveals back to people about an insurance category you hate is that those contracts are there to protect.
Yes.
The contract is there to protect you and the insurance company, so
Yes.
that you get, in this particular case, 6 months free housing if you have floods, or if you have disaster, or if you are a victim of domestic violence.
Yeah, that's why it's called domestic 3 words, because
3
it's
words.
after
And
the
domestic
commas
violence.
and domestic violence. That's the simplicity of the
But
idea.
behind it, there's a truth, which is this is here to protect you. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have a contract
Yeah.
because we're a mean
Yeah.
category. We
Yeah.
have a contract because it's required to protect you, as
Yes.
that's your insurance.
Yes.
It's so genius, so brilliant. And who knows whether it will on titanium tonight, but if it does, that would be very smart.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Surprised.
Very
Yeah,
surprising.
yeah.
Yes. So, judging, you're an expert judge. You've been a Cannes juror for a couple of juries. Is there anything that you saw this year that you think is noteworthy from a creative perspective, that you were inspired by or disheartened by?
No, I think that we are still seeing a lot, maybe more than a couple years ago, we are seeing a lot of opportunistic work, and a lot of, you can see it, you can sense it, a lot of, work that is not only, but specifically created to win awards, and a lot of time and craft put into pieces that it's hard to believe that we're born from an actual business need or from an actual truth from the brand. I think it's a dangerous thing if we go back into that, and we should do everything we can from all points of view to try to avoid that. We are not going to do that ever.
Yes, we're never going to do that.
And I think that we also have to talk to our people, not because we don't do that as a company, as an organization, we don't do that. But I think that judging is a responsibility. So everyone that is judging should be also aware of that and try to award brands. And I've been talking about this with other colleagues, that that we are all feeling that this is a critical point for our industry. It's probably a turning point with AI and all that. It's like we need to defend the value we add to real brands and creativity as a multiplier of value for business.
Yes.
And I think we have to protect that. I'm not saying that you cannot come up with an idea without a brief. Actually, we should do that. But it has to be because you believe that the brand or the people that buy or are engaging with a brand need that thing that you want to bring to the world.
Yes.
Not with the goal of coming here
Right.
and yell on stage, you know. I don't think that's a good thing to do.
Real value for real brands.
Yes.
And I think you see that from the work that wins for McCann.
Yes.
It's big brands like Xbox or MasterCard and L'Oréal Paris, and also we do things with them that are significant in the world.
Yes. Yeah. L'Oréal, MasterCard, POC.
Yes.
You know,
Allegra.
Allegra.
Samsung.
Samsung.
So,
Xbox,
which won again. The titanium case came back and we won a gold in creative effectiveness.
Yes.
So, thank you, Xbox and McCann London.
Yes.
Right. But this year, definitely amongst all the wins, we have had one brand that has raised the bar for all of us, and that's L'Oréal Paris. And so should we invite the team from L'Oréal Paris onto the Truth Well Told show to tell the truth about the L'Oréal Paris wins? Charlotte, Julien, Brendan. We're keeping it very casual today at the Truth Well Told show. Okay. Charlotte.
Yes.
Julien from McCann Paris. Brendan from Traverse 32, the incredible production company that helped us create real content, real entertainment. So welcome. Charlotte, people always, and they did when you presented to the, well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
This
congratulations.
is epic.
Well
This is
done.
epic.
Epic.
People always ask you, like, what was the purpose of a documentary? Was it for McCann talking about creativity in advertising? Is it L'Oréal Paris talking about the success of a line? And you always somehow end up talking about truth. What's the reason this film was so powerful for you and so important to do as both L'Oréal Paris and McCann?
Everybody tries to find something a little opportunistic about this documentary.
Yes.
Was it to portray L'Oréal as a feminist brand? Was it to portray, you know, it's obvious that it's not there to sell products, that's for sure.
Yes.
But what are we here for? And what we loved about Elon is that she was not advocating for a brand. She was advocating for women. And that was something which was very important for her. Not necessarily because she was a woman. I think she was like that in life. She was, Alison, her stepdaughter, told us before that she was very opinionated, even a little bit complicated. But I think she had her own truth, which was, and she said it in the documentary, I don't give a fuck about advertising, I care about people.
Yes.
So everybody's worth it or no one is. And that's, I think, what she did. And she fought with lots of incredibly powerful men to make sure that she was heard, that she changed even the advertising that was made. And I think that truth was very personal to Elon, but L'Oréal made it universal by sharing with all the women in the world. And with this documentary, we managed to put that truth back to every single people that is watching it.
Right.
And for me, that's the most important thing.
Right.
It's not to show that L'Oréal is a feminist brand, or it's not. It is to give back the power to women and to make sure that they would believe in themselves. And the best gift, fantastic. We are super happy to have won so many awards. But when we show the documentary again to people, and when we see the reaction of men, but also women, they're like, oh my God, I should speak more. Oh my God, I should force myself into doing this. I need to trust myself and being more self-confident. I think this is where Elon truth is reaching the most people, and that's where we are here for, right?
It's a film about truth.
Exactly.
It's a film about telling your truth and
Yeah.
living your truth.
Yeah.
That film is, Elon, not just talking about a truth, but then her life was a living
Was
example of
living our truth, but also sharing it with other people
Yes.
so they can do the same.
which is the power of what we do, the
Exactly.
responsibility we have.
Yeah.
Julianne, this is, okay, so difficult task because I'm Worth It is so well known and L'Oréal Paris is so well known that people have already got an understanding of the brand, positive or negative, before you even see the film. Why choose to do an entertainment film where we can't control what anybody says, when we give all the creator control to the director? Like, how did you get L'Oréal Paris to agree to that?
No, I think ads are selling, and entertainment is a place that shifts the culture. So we wanted to shift the culture, so that's why we choose this format. I think it's a nice statement for McCann as a brand to actually open the road of entertainment pieces. I'm mentioning that we also got a little something for Prada
Yes.
on a piece on entertainment, a bronze for a
Congratulations
Thank
on
you,
the
Daryl.
bronze for
Thank
Prada.
you. For again a long format like a documentary, so meaning that the long format is the space of more freedom, and also yes, it's a space of cultural shift. So I think it's fascinating for our brand and for our industry to navigate in this new space which offers so many
It's fascinating, but
possibilities.
also risky if you've never done it before. Why did L'Oréal?
Yeah,
Paris
it's
do it?
risky, but at the same time, I think it's so relieving for creative because I think the most difficult of every exercise is to comp a 30 seconds, and we are always frustrating of not having enough space to make you feel something when you have a product to sell. So like finally, I think I'm so happy about like this tipping point of our job, because for creatives it's a field of freedom of art.
And what's fantastic is that it's backed up with data now. You know, L'Oréal wanted to try, when you ask why is L'Oréal doing that?
Right.
They've done so many campaigns since the last 50 years, which are all the same, all producing the same kind of effect. This documentary, when it's showed to people, men and women, they shift their opinion on the brand 75%. We've never achieved that kind of numbers in any kind of in 1 minute, 30 seconds, 6 seconds. So I think now we've got the results, and like the fact that 82% of the people that have seen the documentary thinks that L'Oréal is a feminist brand. It's fantastic.
82% think L'Oréal is a feminist brand.
Yeah, because they understand the slogan, they understand the value of the slogan, and they attribute the slogan to L'Oréal.
Yes.
And none of those was possible before we did the documentary.
Now, we're making it sound easy. We know it wasn't easy. It was hard to get the right story, to find the clients who would back it. And then we also had to find, equally part of this creative process is to find the right storyteller to work with. Brendan, how did we find Ben Proudfoot, and what made him want to tell the story of Elon Speck?
Sure. When I was first engaged on this project with you guys and started to understand what the ambition was, one guy instantly came to mind, and that was Ben Proudfoot. He had just won the Oscar for The Queen of Basketball. And that's a film about a woman who was the best basketball player in the US at her time. Not the best woman basketball player, the best basketball player. And what happened is when she finished college, there was no place for her to go because there was no professional female league. And she wound up being a high school basketball teacher the rest of her life, which was great. But there wasn't an opportunity for her to share her talent more broadly. And he's told a bunch of stories about women who have done incredible things that we don't know their name. We don't know what they did. For one reason or another, history has passed them by. And we started talking about the opportunity here with Elon. And it was very much within the brand that Ben has created for himself as a director. And then
So you have to match that. You have to match the story of the brand with the brand of the director.
Well, I think that taking it back to truth, it's about you have to find someone that believes in it. You know, many of us have worked with Academy Award-winning directors on campaigns, right? And often they're coming in for a day or so, and they'll make sure it looks great, but they won't necessarily put their name on it, and they may not even look at the cut. This is a case where it says a Ben Proudfoot film, and he'll be locked to it for the rest of his life. And when you're working with directors on a film or television project, they will be. It's a reflection of them in perpetuity. So they have to truly believe it. They have to truly feel it. And we all have to trust and believe in our choices, and then it becomes our job to give them every resource to make the best project possible.
So, how does it feel for this film to be recognized, not just in Cannes in terms of Lions, but also the kinds of reception it gets? I don't know, just to give people some sense, we were shortlisted for Glass, we were shortlisted for Titanium. In both of those presentations, we had a packed audience of people from the industry cheering, crying. Like, it is remarkable, this film, because it is both about our industry and then also the beauty industry and also truth, something that people care about, has generated a lot of emotion. How does it feel for you to win? You've won Grand Prix before.
I mean, I think it's also about life, and a life well lived, right? And I think that's what's so powerful. I mean, one of the most powerful moments for me, I think professionally, hands down, this week, Charlotte and I had the opportunity to screen the film for the See It, Be It cohort of, young female creatives that, I think there's thousands of them apply, and I think they bring 25 of them or something. And we showed the film, and then they introduced us, and we walked to the front, and every one of them was crying, just tears. And then we started crying.
It was impossible to talk because we were crying as well. No, but this is interesting because Javi cares about winning awards because he's the CEO of McCann. I love the fact that revisiting the documentary, which is for us a little bit, all story. Julien was saying that ads are saying, are trying to grasp attention. What I love about this documentary is driving emotion. And when you feel that you can touch people, I was during the Glass presentation, and I was super scared, and I was looking at the audience, and some of the women were crying, and not only McCann people.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, this is an interesting story, and this is my truth.
Yes.
I don't care really about advertising again, but I care about doing things that are meaningful, and this work for me was super meaningful, so I'm super happy that it was celebrated. I would have been crossed, not because I was not winning, but because I think this work deserves something big. And we had a conversation with Javi. He was like, well, are you not happy? I said, yeah, but I want the top of one category, and we might got it.
Maybe tonight.
Yeah,
possibly
tonight. It's really hard to have Charlotte saying I'm happy.
I
was like,
I am.
But I think that, I want to make a comment about the four of you, because you were, really invested in this documentary, and I think that the love that the documentary is getting is because came from love, from Elon loving her craft and defending what she believed, and that to me keeps flowing throughout the whole project until it reaches audiences. That is why people is giving back that love to this piece. I think it's a true unique piece in that for all I've seen in my career. So it deserves all this. I think it deserves even more, to your point, but we have to take what we get, right?
And we're happy.
And we're happy, and it is a labor of love, and we have Elon's stepdaughter here in Cannes with us to celebrate, and the amount of love for creativity and for brands and for Elon that we've created, I think is...
And for this piece, this morning I was in the press conference, and when Kate Stanners, the president of the film jury, was presenting the piece, and they started clapping. They were looking at me because I represent McCann. I was there, and the amount of enthusiasm and bonding that people have with this piece is almost like people are rooting for this piece all the time, naturally, beyond who did it, beyond who's behind it, beyond anything. They are just rooting for this piece of work. So it tells you something that we need to bring more of this here, and everywhere, but here too, because this place can be a quite cynical place.
Remind people of the truth.
Remind people of the truth that is behind a work of love.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And Daryl, I want to add something. So those results were an emotion, honestly, And also for all the people we have the chance to collaborate with during the year, the fantastic French team. We are very proud to come back with this for all you guys in France and in the L'Oréal networks who have who work super hard on this difficult brand. And
all
so
these years.
Yeah, all these years. So I think for the French teams, and so hi the French teams. And for all the L'Oréal office in the world, like it's so nice. It's the first big step, and it's a lot of happiness. And
Yes.
so we will celebrate this. I hope all together very soon. So.
Oh yes, we're going to be celebrating for the next couple of years because we're going to be honoring Elon's legacy, and that is something as McCann we sign up to, which is truth well told can't be something you do for a show or even for a year or for just for one brand. It's something we're going to do for life. In particular, Elon helping women in particular come into the world of creativity and find their voice and find their career. So we're doing that. Thank you. Congratulations to all of us. Thank you. To close the first ever episode of the Truth Well Told show, I have 4 jurors here from our esteemed network to talk about their experience of the jury, some themes, and any tips and work people should go and look at later. So Shilpa, maybe you start just talking about the jury, the category you were on, and then 3 themes from that category.
Yes, so I was judging creative effectiveness this year. So as you might know, this is not new work. This was work that has won in the past, either shortlisted or a winner. And then you have to come back and prove the measurable impact of your work. So most of the discussions in the room were, was this work really impactful for the brand and for the business? And the 3 themes, actually I had 5, but I will focus on 3. The most important ones, in my view, was really redeemed, as I said yesterday, that we have to build long-term brand platforms. And the gift that you said we've given to the industry, which is timely, the timeless and timely, was really very evident in the room. So build a long-term brand platform based on a universal truth, but bring it to life in fresh, flexible, culturally relevant ways. So that was, I think, the biggest theme, as you would have seen from the Grand Prix winner, which was shot on iPhone, a platform that has lasted over the last decade, making Apple the #1 smartphone brand. The second was all about creating the counterculture, or call it disrupting the doctrines, and really repositioning the category, reframing the market, and doing it very bravely. A case in point was this brand called Hertog Jan, playing in the home turf of Heineken, a small brewery that became #1 because while Heineken was saying, drink beer, come to sports events, come to F1, this brand said, don't drink beer, save it for a later date and savor it. So completely new and fresh for a beer category. And the third theme was very much about impact doesn't necessarily come from big media or big budgets. I think creativity's challenge is even more potent when you have to do it when you're constrained from all sides. So the case of throwback deals from Samsung was cited as a best in class.
MRM.
A best in class of like, what do you do with email today, right? When you're not on stage and you don't have big monies to create big films, but you still have to drive the business.
Yes.
And you can do it very creatively. Yeah.
I like that little shout out to MRM. MRM Brazil, congrats on more lions for Samsung. All right, so brand platform, do something disruptive, disrupt the doctrine, I thought you said.
I just coined it because I love alliteration,
yes,
so that's why I said create the counterculture, disrupt the doctrines. I mean, John Bizel from...
engineer the evolution, we could just keep going on.
John Bizel was sitting in our room throughout, and he called it like go against the grain. I said, no, let's say disrupt the doctrines.
Something like original.
Yes.
And impact can be a function of creativity more than weight. Like this is
Exactly.
about.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah.
Hello.
Did you have a similar experience in your jury?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think very similar.
What
because
was your
I
category
was doing
again?
creative strategy.
Creative strategy.
Creative strategy. Great job for a strategist.
Strategist.
So yes, kind of perfect. You know, obviously very similar. The first one that I would say is also long-term brand platforms, and this was the first year that we awarded that category. So it's a new entrant into Cannes, which is such good news for McCann, right? With all these beautiful platforms like L'Oreal, we were just talking about, MasterCard. So looking forward to seeing those entries coming up in the future. You know, but it's exactly what Shilpa was saying. You know, how can brands have these timeless brand platforms, but continue to make them fresh? How do you go into different markets, global, find really local insights, and be able to like make your big global platform so relevant to those markets? So that was a big, exciting platform from us, and also that was our Grand Prix winner too, with Dove, who has just done a fantastic job with that over the years. The second trend I would say was I thought there was some really interesting unlocks with data. So, you know, there's obviously different data awards that go out, but in terms of data and how that informs brand strategy, how that can lead to an insight, which can unlock a really powerful creative idea. There were some fantastic examples from that. One I'll give you, one of my favorite ones that we had this year was something called Humanimal, which is tricky to say,
Yes.
but it was a case from Colombia, and they found this insight that only 4%, or Colombia is the 4th most visited country by animals, but only the 50th most country visited by humans. And so they use that to say, you know, what do animals know that humans don't? And what a beautiful way to showcase the beauty of Colombia, and then showing the migratory patterns that these animals were taking it and developing an entirely new tourism itineraries for these exploratory travelers who are going.
Wow.
So that was a really
What kind of animals go to?
whales, birds.
Oh, okay.
You know, but you know, and people just were so excited about it
Sloths.
and seeing that, and then also tying it like full 360 into promotions.
Right.
Right. This is the time that whales are going to be migrating, so we can give you a discount. So it was a really through the line program, which I just thought was incredibly smart. And then the third one was, as I said, local insights, and Javi spoke about a little bit of these too. But again, another brand that had an amazing long-term brand platform, Pedigree. We love dogs. That's been around for 20 plus years also, what they did with Caramello. And that was just great. But I would say a small one that happened in the US was a Puerto Rican beer brand called Medela. And Medela, this is a fun fact for those of us, maybe you don't know this, but there's actually more Puerto Ricans in New York than in the island of Puerto Rico. So Medela, trying to instill national pride for Puerto Rican beer, did a very targeted campaign in the U.S. to areas with a lot of Puerto Rican population, where they wrote out-of-home billboards that only people who are in Puerto Rico would understand. So taking very local expressions that most Americans wouldn't recognize at all. But if you were a Puerto Rican,
Right.
a real inside joke, really connecting with audience to say, like, we get you, this is the beer for you, huge success. So just those micro insights. I think a lot of us work on brands where they're just always trying to kind of get to the insights that's going to resonate with the most amount of people, but there's such beauty in being able to get highly targeted, very specific insights, and how that can cascade and really make your brand stand out that much
Right.
more.
Once you have a universal truth at the heart of it, how do you get local
Drill it
nuance?
down to a local.
I mean, it's now easy with, you know, Puerto Rico. You just have to say Gulf of Mexico, and then everybody but certain foolish people don't know what you're talking about. All right, so we've got some brand platforms as a theme here. There's some disrupting the doctrine, and then some data delight. See, I'm alliterating. I'm following your lead. Julien, you had also a new category, right?
Yes,
Luxury?
I was judging luxury, which is like 2 years category, so it's quite
Little
new.
baby.
Yeah, it's interesting because it feels what's gonna become of it. What's gonna be interesting. Like, we need to bring more work in this category.
You don't think there's enough
No,
quality?
I think it's the beginning, and no one really knows how to frame it. And so I think again, like, it's a beautiful road open for more for the upcoming years.
What did you learn from?
So the first thing I think I just felt it. So my first point is like it's so hard to win. It's so
hard to win.
It's so hard to win because there are so many pieces of work. So to get like filtered, and then to arrive at the end of it, at the tipping point. So you have to kill an amazing amount of good work. So that's my first observation. And then it's actually the second one comes from the first one. There is a sort of I call it the pop culture effect of the cases. Meaning like it's like in the radio and when you listen to music, everyone listens to Drake at some point, you know, because like Drake picks up. And the more Drake picks up, the more people listen to Drake, so the more Drake picks up. And it's exactly the same for the case, meaning that you have a sort of like a snowball effect of a work that is good and raising up and up and up and up and up. So meaning that if you want to have a subject that is a bit less pop, it needs to be amazing. It needs to be like a Tame Impala or MGMT. So an amazing outsider project that is going to climb the stairs. So that's my second one. And then I have three more. Now, very quickly. So
maybe
I think
one more.
Okay. No, it's like I think it's on the case. So I think simplify the case, like
make them
like case for dummies, because you see so much work that you need to understand, and it's terrible not to understand the case. One advice also is to narrow the part of the results, because it's always the same. Like it's sea of sameness, and you have like 30 seconds of results, except of course in creative effectiveness.
Right.
So that's it.
And don't just say impressions all the time. Everyone buys
No
impressions.
impressions.
Impressions don't make an impression.
No one even looked at it.
No one even looks at
And
impressions.
the last one is stupid, but power of emotion. Like 2 minutes
Power
to
of
feel
emotion.
something. And I in a lot of cases, you don't feel. You watch something, a great idea, but you don't feel. And I feel like when you feel, it makes a
That's the
difference.
well told, right? Because it's not enough just to have the truth. It's the well told. You can have truth and nobody cares if you don't tell it well. That was great.
Thank
and
you.
I think you've obviously helped shape the luxury category now, and you'll have to have you back to run the jury one day. Pursoon, you've been a jury president. You've been a titanium jury president. And now you went back to being a jury member for this interesting category called entertainment. What was your experience, and what were the themes that we could learn from as McCann Worldgroup?
Yeah, I came to learn, and especially I've never done this.
You came to learn.
Yes, and I learned. First thing is that the 30-second versus this short form versus the long form. People keep telling you that people don't have attention span. I'm told that the attention span of human race is reduced to 8 seconds, which is 1 second less than the goldfish.
Goldfish, yes.
Yeah. Now, in that era, you still have binge watching happening.
Exactly. You watch White Lotus for a whole weekend.
Yes. So while judging this category, I realized that people actually can watch long form, provided it is good, entertaining, rewarding. So this debate about short form is going to survive and long form is not, I think that got over in my head. It's about, are you engaging? Are you interesting? Are you rewarding? If you are, I am with you. So this is one learning. The second thing is, I think constantly, and this could be the change in the industry, that people have been looking for bigger brands to do, say, great things.
Yes.
If you look at in my category, and Javi and me talked about this, if you look at the Grand Prix, it's Hyundai. If you look at one of the big gold winners is L'Oreal. Yeah. And then you see another gold winner is Tide. So these people are actually wanting to see genuine work on big brands.
Yes.
So if we do, and which is where I see McCann should really do well in future, because we always sort of got confused in our creative people who are so anchored, like Julian here, so anchored in real work, that when you see work which is done for something which you don't even know what it is about, a plumber on the roadside shop, you really got confused.
Did you say a plumber in the side shop?
Side shop.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of suddenly,
Yes.
and you realize that the everyday work is not getting rewarded. I felt it's not true. I think the industry is seeking and intensely seeking that kind of work. Also, I think charity work, which people used to feel apologetic about, the profession by awarding. I feel there was kind of a sense of guilt that maybe I'm selling or out everything, and we should award something which is doing good. People are trying to do good with brands, which is with popular culture, with big brands. I think marriage of purpose with brand is also a great
Yes,
learning
it
program.
seems like the debate in the past at Cannes about should you have purpose or not has gone. It's like purpose with purpose. If
Yeah.
your brand has permission to talk about some issue, then talk about it. And
Yeah,
be
and also entertainment does not necessarily mean, this was my argument in the jury, that it has to make you dance or laugh.
Yes,
It
can
could
make
be
you
engaging.
cry.
Yeah, because we also listen to sad songs, let's not forget.
Yes.
That also engage us.
Yes.
So,
Well, okay. So thank you for your sharing your truths about Cannes jury. If I raise your hand if you would do it again. And again. All right, good. So we're going to have a lot of jury members. It is a lot of work, so we thank you for your contribution to the industry, to creativity, and of course your championing of great work from McCann and McCann Worldgroup. So that's it for, I want to say, the Daryl Lee Show. It's a habit. Neither the Daryl Lee Show, nor the Javi Lee Show, nor the Daryl Javi Lee Show, but the Truth Well Told Show. First episode of the Truth Well Told Show, coming to you live from Cannes. A big shout out to all the winners. We're once again MasterCard winning again in Cannes. The Lions, the business, the brand, the account, the teams that are the Lions of Cannes, but also Samsung and Puck and Allegra and L'Oreal Paris, and who am I forgetting? Xbox. I already said hi to McCann London. And then a big thank you to Lady Gaga for giving us so much fun and power and gold for MasterCard. So she's saying hi. And by the way, we have requested a gold lion for Lady Gaga, and we're going to give it to her. She's very, very excited that she's winning her first ever gold lion with McCann and MasterCard. And that's priceless. So, thank you, everybody. See you at the end of the year for the second episode of the Truth Well Told Show. Until then, please keep championing the power and the inspiration of creativity.